morning, thank you for joining me, and happy 2019 to everybody. I hope you had a fantastic Christmas break and a lovely new year, and it's all back to normal now, isn't it? It goes, but the anticipation goes on for so long and then it's all over in a flash, isn't it? But yeah, I hope everybody is well and looking forward to the new year. I thought it would be good to make the first video of the year a sort of what I'm planning for 2019 and plus January goals, of course. But first I wanted to have a quick look back on Christmas and just tell you a little bit about our Christmas. I filmed all the way up to the 23rd of December, I think it was, or was it the 22nd? Yeah, the last video went live of Vlogmas on the 23rd. Vlogmas was such hard work, but so fun. I really enjoyed it. And then Christmas was a really nice, relaxing couple of days. It was just me, Ashley and William. Ashley, William and me, I should say, shouldn't I? We didn't have anybody over for the first time since Ashley and I have been together. We spent Christmas by ourselves, so it was very nice and a change. It was very low-key, and we spent the day together as a family. We had a nice meal in the evening, and it was just lovely, very nice. On the 26th, Boxing Day, we went up to Dartmoor for a walk, along with the rest of Devon, it seemed. It was very busy up there. And again came home, watched Christmas films and just chilled, and again very relaxing. Then on the 27th we went away for 2 nights to Wareham in Dorset to a hotel called the Priory. If you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, links below if you want to do that. You will have seen photographs of where we stayed. It was a really, really lovely little hidden gem of a place, very old building. And Wareham was a lovely town, considering I lived about less than 15 miles from it for the first 20 years of my life. I don't think I've ever been there before. Also found 3 charity shops there that were open. That was a bit of a bonus. So I bought a few things there, and I just had 2 nights. The first night my brother and his wife came as well. That was lovely to see them. And the second night it was just us and my parents, and yeah, really enjoyed it. Very nice, sort of Twixmas they call it, don't they? That sort of between time, Christmas and New Year. And it was, yeah, I highly recommend Wareham as a destination, and the Priory Hotel also. Yeah, all really nice. As I film this, it is Sunday the 30th, so tomorrow is New Year's Eve, and also, for those who've been following me a long time, you will know that it's also Ashley's birthday tomorrow. He is a New Year's Eve baby. We always keep plans quite low-key for New Year's Eve. I always let Ashley choose what he wants to do. Sometimes in the past we've been out for lunch, when it was difficult to get a babysitter when William was younger, and we used to have friends over for dinner, and he would cook. He loves to cook, it's his thing. But this year we're doing exactly the same as we did last year, which is going out in the evening for a curry with some friends, and they're coming around to us for a couple of cocktails first, and they're our best friends really. And then we're going down to town to our favourite local curry house for a curry, and I think they've got entertainment on for the evening, and yeah, looking forward to that. Should be fun. Nice way to see in the new year. We did it last year and really enjoyed it, so thought we'd do it again. So, as I think we all do at this time of year, been looking back at 2018, thinking about the parts of that went well, what I'd like to change, New Year's resolutions, if you like, although I don't call them New Year's resolutions, and I don't really do them because I do the monthly goals, which I do a video every month on my monthly goals, as longer term viewers will know. But I do like to sort of reflect back on the year and think about how things have gone and what I would do differently and that sort of thing. And when I thought about that and started sort of envisioning what I would want to change for 2019 that hadn't felt so great in 2018, although it was a fantastic year and I'm very grateful for it, I should say. The overarching thing was I would like to simplify my life, and I think simplify is probably my word of the year, were I to have a word of the year, which I don't. But not just in terms of stuff. I feel like, yes, I need to declutter. Oh my God, do I need to declutter? And that will be coming up in goals shortly. But also in terms of the way I do things, I feel like I'd like to streamline processes and just make things more simple and not feel like there's a lot of clutter in my brain as well as actual clutter, and I would like to get rid of that. And I started thinking, well, how am I going to achieve that? How what could I do to make there be less brain clutter and less stuff clutter and less of everything, for things to feel simpler and easier and more accessible, I guess. And I sort of spent a bit of time figuring out what I could do to make this simpler. And just to give you an example, at the beginning of every new year, I always think, oh, I'm going to have a notebook for this and a notebook for that, and have one for menu planning and one for YouTube and one for tracking my eBay stuff and all of that. And that's just, it's too much. I never keep it going. I have all these lovely new notebooks and I start them all with great enthusiasm, and then I can't find the one I want or need, and then one's in a different room, and then I can't remember if I wrote that down in the right place, and then I need to write something down and I can't find the appropriate notebook. It's too much. It's silly to have all of these different notebooks when really one would be more than enough. And I think there's lots of areas like that in my life where I overcomplicate things because my enthusiasm levels are higher than the reality that I have time for, maybe, if that makes sense. So that was sort of one area I was looking at. The other thing that is all sort of part of the same simplify thing is that I want to enjoy the things I already have. Let's look at candles as an example of that, shall we? I have so many beautiful, lovely candles. I'm sure I have one for every day of the month in January, a different one. And I want to spend time enjoying those, not accumulating more. So I'm not going to forbid myself to buy anything, but I do want to keep an eye on what I am bringing into the house, and especially in regard to what I've already got. So if I buy a new candle, think about, do I really not need it? Because obviously I don't need any more candles. But is this giving me something that I haven't already got? Does that make sense? I hope so. Also digital clutter. I've just recently switched phones. I've got a beautiful new iPhone XS Max, I think it's called, the big new iPhone 10. And when I was switching it over from my old phone, I realised how many photos and videos I've got stacked up on that I really ought to be getting rid of, and apps I didn't use and all that sort of thing. So the digital clutter is a thing now as well. So yeah, the word simplify, I think, is going to be my watchword for 2019. So I'm going to talk about my goals for January in a minute, my life goals, which are all very much with the simplify thing in mind, and my work goals separately, my reselling goals. But first of all, I wanted to talk to you about something I'm going to implement for this year, which I've been toying with for the last couple of months of 2018 and has worked really well. And that's called a Sunday reset. And I got the idea from an organisation and life improvement vlogger I watch called Michelle B. I will link her channel below for you. And she does this Sunday reset thing where she sits down on a Sunday and does various things to just streamline her week ahead. And I really liked the idea of that, sort of boxing off the previous week and preparing for the week coming up. Sorry if I sound breathless in this video, by the way. I've got a terrible cold and I'm struggling to breathe and talk as well. So if I sound out of breath, because I just can't, haven't got enough breath in me to make a video probably, but I just really wanted to get this video made today. So as I said, I've been toying with the idea of this Sunday reset, and I have come up with a sort of checklist of things that I want to do. So the first thing on a Sunday is to get out my diary for the week ahead, look at appointments I've got, look at things I have coming up that week, and then plan my working week around that. And I want to be far more proactive in planning my working week, setting out blocks of time to complete certain tasks, deciding when I'm going to go outsourcing, deciding when I'm going to do listing, deciding when I'm going to edit my YouTube videos, that sort of thing. So just making a sort of rough weekly plan with time blocks. The next thing is to menu plan for the week, and if necessary do an online shop. That is such a game changer in terms of organisation, isn't it? Not spending time each day thinking, oh, what are we going to have for dinner? Or we could have that, or I haven't got that. So I really do want to get back into the menu planning thing. It all went a bit off piecemeal when William went off to uni. We weren't menu planning as much. And I really want to do that. I think that would be a great way to start the week with that plan already there. I want to zero my inbox, get rid of all the emails that pile up, the things that I'm generally quite good at doing this anyway, but not as far as zero. I generally have about 10 at the top that need something more doing to them than just a delete or a quick reply. So I really want to get good at doing that on a Sunday. So I start the week afresh with an empty inbox. I also want to go through all the photos on my camera and phone that I've taken that week and get rid of everything that I don't need. For example, on my phone I quite often take a picture of a book that I've seen that I want to look up more about, or oh, I don't know, just random things, and quite often you need to just deal with that and delete it. And I've got photos backed up for months on my phone at the moment, so I really want to get into the habit of doing that on a weekly basis. And then my final thing is sort of when I watched Michelle B's video, she called it a brain dump, and it was getting everything out of your head onto paper, all the things you were thinking about that you needed to do. And I've tried this a few times, and the way that works for me is with a set of prompts. So for example, I'll have the prompt bills. Do I need to pay any bills? And that will remind me that, and I haven't quite perfected the list yet, but it's getting there. So I've got bills, social life, phone calls I need to make, stuff that needs doing to the house, things that I need to buy, all sorts of things like that. And I just go through this list of prompts and write in, it sort of prompts me, reminds me of things that I need to do. So I'll write all that out as well. And that's sort of my Sunday reset. I can do a bigger video on that if anybody's interested later in the year, perhaps once I've got it up and running, but I really feel like that's going to be a game changer in terms of getting everything organised. Now let's move on to January goals. Are we really 14 minutes in already? Luckily they're quite quick ones to talk through. Do you remember I showed you this book that I bought? It's like a bullet journal type thing with the square, I don't know how well that will focus, but it's got the little square dots on each page. I bought it from Wilkinson's. It was £2.75 sometime during December. And I've decided to use this as, first of all, to do my eBay listings. Now, this is not like Carla's bullet journal or any of these clever bullet journaling people who do lovely pictures and stuff. That's just not my bag. I think it's lovely and fantastic, but I just haven't got the patience or artistic flair. So that is my January eBay listings page. But it's just to keep track of how many I'm doing a day. Just put the crosses in the corresponding boxes, and yeah, I just want to keep track. Then again, I want to do a habit tracker. This is slightly better. I've done a January habit tracker. The first half is on that page and the second half is on that page. Again, these are the dates along here, and these are the things I want to be tracking. I will go through them with you. The first thing is Slimming World. I want to stay on plan for as many days as possible. The reality is William is not going back until next weekend, so the 5th or 6th, to uni, and probably I won't get back into it properly until after that. And then I'm off to London a week after that, so hey ho. I want to declutter something every day, even if it's just a shelf or a drawer or something. That's another thing on my habit tracker. I want to get into the habit of doing my accounts and mileage at the end of each working day, and I'm so bad at that, so bad. So I've put that down as another habit that I want to get into. My next one is no personal expenditure, and I want to, I don't want to not spend any money on myself, but I want to track how many days I'm not doing that. So it's just sort of a reminder really, not a I want this all filled in with 31 X's at the end of the month, but I would like there to be some. The next 3 are clearing things every day. Clear out my handbag, take all the receipts out of that and deal with them every day. Clear the pink sofa in my bedroom, that has been just such a bad habit. And clearing the dining room table, which is another sort of clutter fest. And this is all harking back to the simplifying thing. Don't want piles of mess everywhere. Everything should be put away. Everything has a place. I've got plenty of storage in my house. There is no excuse. Floss my teeth. That's an exciting one, isn't it? But it's something I need to do every day and something I don't really do every day at the moment. So I want to remember that. I've put no alcohol. I am not doing dry January. I've no interest in doing it, but I want to track how many days I don't drink. I would like there to be maybe 2 or 3 days a week where I have a drink and the other ones I don't. So that is just sort of, again, to track it. keep on top of it. I put read for 30 minutes just to remind myself I love reading and I want to be doing this every day. Something I enjoy and something I should be taking the time for. And then I've also put Instagram on the bottom of there. I want to do a project, I talked about this a little bit earlier on, in January, where I light a different candle every day, and I thought it would be nice to document it on Instagram. So I'm using up all my candles, enjoying them, and showing you all the different candles I've got on Instagram as well at the same time. So I thought that might be quite fun. And if I have to take the picture every day, it will make me light the candle every day. That's the thinking behind it. So yeah, as you can see, those are all very focused on simplifying and getting into good habits, all of those. I've also made some work goals for January, some reselling. My reselling did suffer a lot in December due to Vlogmas, so I really need to get back on track. I haven't worked at all over the Christmas break other than packaging. Got some packaging to do this morning. So these are my goals for January for reselling, and the first one is at least 250 brand new listings on eBay. The second one is to get, about 2 years ago, I think, or about 18 months maybe, I got a big haul of children's clothes from a shop that closed down. And I've got one bag left to list, one of those big laundry bags. I need to bring that into the house and get it listed this month. On the same vein, I've got the men's suits to list. I talked about these a bit in Vlogmas. I think there's about 12 or 15 of those to list, and I've put those off for 2.5 years. Yes, I know, terrible. But all those designer suits need listing. Got my male mannequin. I've even bought some suits into the house, so they are going to get listed. And once those two things are listed, I am pretty much all the way through my backlog. Next thing I wanted to do is to go through all my good till cancelled listings. I've got a lot that have been sitting there, not getting any sales for quite a long time, and I need to either restart them or rejig them or get rid of them. So I want to go through all of those. I think there's about 150 probably. And then the final thing is to cross-list all my vintage stock to Etsy. I've had some nice sales on Etsy in the run-up to Christmas, and I really feel like if I get into the habit of, I know I've talked about this before, but I really want to get into the habit of listing everything that I can on Etsy at the same time as I list it on eBay. But first of all, obviously, I have to go through back through current listings and make sure that everything current is on there as well. So that's another little project for work. Right, that is my January goals. I feel very breathless now. I need to go and take some deep breaths. So let me know if you've got any goals for January. Let me know if you had a nice Christmas and what went on. And yeah, Happy New Year again, everybody. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit that little button and the bell that will notify you when I post a new video. New videos for this year are every Wednesday morning, a sit-down video like this, and then a vlog of my week, Monday to Fridays, will go up at 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning. And that's my YouTube plan. Again, I'm simplifying YouTube for this year as well, making it sort of a proper schedule to work to, which I'm quite looking forward to. I think that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.